Hi everyone, I'm here to talk about going through the holidays and Christmas when you're having a hard time. Do I have experience with this? Maybe, as someone who's had a chronic illness for 13 years, some. And as much as I love Christmas, I know that it can also be very hard when you are not in a place you want to be in life, or you are going through a struggle that existed on many other Christmases, and this Christmas is reminding you how many Christmases you've had the same struggle, and it just becomes very overwhelming. All right, so practically, first of all, what has helped me as someone who has POTS and migraine on the taking care of myself component? A few things I do that helps. Save up some medication if possible. In the week before Christmas celebrations are in full throttle, try to take less so that I can be a little bit less inhibited, so that I can be more uninhibited during Christmas celebrations and be a little more present. Secondly, huge for me is making sure that I have food around that is cooked and present, that is not triggering for me, because otherwise I will easily indulge in many things that I know in my case give me a migraine for the sake of it being a holiday, and then actually end up being a lot less present. So making some paleo Christmas cookies, having some good meat and broth on hand for all celebrations is essential. Having a quiet place in mind to escape. When I've been at my worst, when it comes to big family holiday parties, even smaller ones, honestly, I would step away and take a nap in my cousin's bedroom. Or sneak away to my parents' car for 20 minutes with the heat on, just to get that brief reset. In my case, it's often, a quick power nap to bring my head pain down a bit so I can go back and be more present. Also, if you have a big family and you step away for 20 minutes, even half an hour, they probably won't even notice you're gone. Those are honestly the main practicals when it comes to managing a health issue, specifically during the holidays, that I've found to be helpful. Also, don't feel like you have to do all the things. Quality over quantity. Sometimes I'm at a party. I've had years where I've been at a party for 2 hours, and most of it has been me really struggling. I've had other years where, because of how other things have played out, I've been able to be there and be myself for most of the time, as long as I factor in recovery. Factoring in recovery time is also very important if you are struggling with something related to your health. Underlying all of that, though, what I've found to be most helpful in approaching this season and everything that goes with it is to see it as a time to, instead of showing off your successes for the past year or sharing flashy things about your life, which is where we all tend to go, right? When we arrive at a big party with people we haven't seen in a while. But instead, to see it as a time to connect, to leave that party closer to even just one person than you were before you went. Which, if you're in a good season, by all means, share the good things, that it will include that. And even if you're in a hard place, that doesn't mean ignoring good things happening in your life. But also, if you are in that harder place, taking time to name that as well. Even through one simple sentence, depending on how close you are with whoever you're talking about, it's a rough year, or it's still there and it's still hard. But in my case, sometimes it means saying that, and also saying, but I do love my life, or which in my case sometimes is naming that and then also saying, but I do really love my life, I love my friends, etc. I'm doing okay. And other times it's like, I'm really honestly right now really, really sick of it. I'm really sick of it, and I hope that I can fix this soon. Because when we do that, to whatever degree we're comfortable with, that presents an opportunity then for the other person to share a way that they wish their life was different this Christmas. And then ideally, we leave that party maybe not feeling like we were the stars of the show or the most celebrated person there, but in some way closer. Like we understood somebody a little bit better. Because where did the first Christmas happen anyways? Jesus was born into a very dirty manger to two very young parents, to one mother and her very young spouse. I found that, especially with having something consecutive, which can easily present an opportunity to become more despairing, if I see it instead as every year that feels more frustrating, which I have to be frustrated about, take time being frustrated about. If I see that frustration instead as an opportunity to come to know, for whatever reason, like God chose to appear first in the mess and weak, and that he actually desires to love us there, so we don't need the shiny things, because we have this gift instead that meets us, loves us, wants to love us in our messes, in our mangers. That's my hope for this season, and I hope that in some way this year, that can become more of a reality for you too. Merry Christmas.